there was a couple things happening that happened to people routinely, and I wanted you to know how you can discourage jumping if you want without it affecting some other behaviors that we have coming up. So one of the things that happen with really motivated dogs like her is they're so quick that once you they know what the marker is and they're coming, if your hands are up here, you say yes, and they're coming up before you get your hand down. Yeah, so you're like launching at you, right? And so you're doing the right thing there, which is getting your hand down as quickly and feeding her low, right? And so that will go away when we start asking her to have obedience stuff. So that's not a big thing, but that's why she's hitting you so often. And because of that, because she's hitting you and then getting fed, she is getting reinforced for jumping on you ultimately. That's why she keeps persisting in it, because she's just really fast. The other thing is, like lots of people, when the dogs jump up on you, people will do things like kind of step into the dog to get them to drop off of you, or stand there and wait for the dog to drop off. I instead like to, when the dog jumps up on me, if my hands are here, I go like this and put my hands behind my back and I step away. And when the dog drops down, I don't say anything, I just feed them down here. Don't mark it, because she's going to launch again when you mark it. So I just feed down low. And what that does is the dog drops off of me. Jumping on me didn't get you anything. And when they're down on the ground, it does. But my movement away keeps them close to me. And so if I push them off of me by stepping into them, which doesn't matter at all for a pet dog, right? So if you have a dog and you just want to discourage jumping, they jump and you step into them as they're jumping and they fall off of you and you feed them, they'll stop jumping up on you that way. But we're going to want to do competitive fronts. And one of the things that we can have issues with is having the dog sit close and straight in front of us if we step into them a lot. Because then when we want to go to sit here, if I step towards them, they scoot back, or if I move my body at all, it can affect that. Also, German Shepherds are prone to rock back sits. And so if I wait there for her or move towards her at all and she drops off, she falls off back like that. And because of the way they're built, a lot of times it's hard for them to tuck under. And they'll either hover their butt off the ground sometimes, or they sit back on their haunches because their shoulder's higher than their rear structurally. Sometimes you have to work at the tuck sits. So that's all I was talking about. Yeah, so you're not doing anything particularly wrong there. Try feed her more quickly low. Yeah. For our sport dogs and things like that, I'm not particularly concerned with them jumping on me, right, while they're young, because as we start to add structure and obedience, that tends to go away. And then as they're older, I can tell them not to. They're going to go jump on me, and I say sit instead, like don't jump on me. And then actually with my older dogs, I teach them that there are times when I'm going to invite them to jump on me, and then there are times when I'll tell them not to. So they learn basically don't jump on you unless invited. And one of the reasons that I let my young dogs jump on me a little bit is that there's certain kinds of play activities that I'm going to do with them that I'm going to encourage them to kind of push into me with the toy and things like that. And I don't want to inhibit their close contact with me, because some dogs, if they're really sensitive and I stop that, I can accidentally inhibit them bringing toys back to me and getting close to me and things like that. And so you walk a line there. Generally speaking, stopping your dog from jumping on you is not going to damage their play as long as you're not really harsh about it. You know, what happens where people get in trouble is they're young dogs, you're trying to get them playful, you're getting them in an excited mood to want to play, and they jump up and then you clock them for it. And now they're like, okay, I don't want to play anymore, I don't want to do that. So if you're really harsh about trying to stop jumping up, then you can definitely negatively impact your play. One of the games that we play with our dogs is we teach them to jump into us with the toy when they're little. And we'll talk about this all tomorrow. I don't want to get too far down this thing, but tomorrow when we talk about play, one of the things that we do is when I'm getting the dog to come back with the toy, I try to get them to jump up with the toy and grab it. And the reason for that is a lot of dogs are going to come back towards you with the toy when you're playing, and as soon as you go to reach for it, they peel off and they don't come, right? But if the dog jumps, they can't change their mind once their front feet come off the ground. So I don't reach for it until their front feet come off the ground. So it's a little sneaky trick that we do with young dogs so that they can't change their mind about bringing the toy to you when you're initially playing. And then once they're doing that, then we teach them not to jump on us anymore because it gets rough. If my older dogs, you see, I don't have them jumping on me anymore because it's brutal. I stop them they come running at 30 miles an hour and they leap into you and they crush you. And so at a certain point we discourage that, but I'm not going to be super strict about jumping. But don't reinforce it in your puppy because then you're going to have a harder time and it's conflicting to them if you've been reinforcing it. So I try, if they jump up on me, not to give them a reward for it, but I don't make a big deal out of it either.